Hey, you guys, welcome back. My name is Richard Sachs. I'm the host on Lost Arts Radio. Doug Diamond's making the show work for us. And this is what we call the Safe Stream version of Lost Arts Radio Live. We split it off after we got re-educated and learned how to not be offensive to anyone or break any terms of service or community guidelines or anything like that. So we thought, all right, how can we say what's left, when there's certain things we can't get into, obviously, if we want to keep the platform. And we're trying to keep it long enough so that everybody goes to lostartsradio.com and finds out where we're still on the air in full form. So in the meantime, I was thinking, all right, what can I say about what today's topic was going to be? And it was almost like that. What came to my mind was, remember in the beginning of one of the Star Wars episodes, it says something like a long time ago in a galaxy far away, some certain story was unfolding. And it was almost like that. I saw us in the middle of a sci-fi movie, which I think is acceptable to talk about. And in this particular movie, or maybe it was a Star Trek episode, I'm not sure, there were these amazing beings from some brilliant planet, and they forgot that they were from there, or dimension. It doesn't really matter. And they had gotten born on a planet where everybody was hypnotized into thinking that they were these little very weak, stupid, not very capable, unintelligent beings that couldn't really do anything, except they were allowed to know how to argue and fight with each other and scheme about how they could kill each other or just make problems for each other. And they were full of fear, and they never knew about fear before, because where they came from, it doesn't exist. So obviously it's a long story. I wish the movie rights would go to somebody who would really do a good job on it. But I just, we only have a couple of minutes on this program for a little glimpse. But the main theme is that there are these incredible beings, and they got hypnotized. They're all from the same place. They're basically one family of beings. And in fact, they all have the same spirit essence as each other. And yet they forgot all about that. And they thought it would probably be a good idea to fight with each other because, for any reason or no reason, but partly because they don't all look identical. So they're hypnotists who are controlling the atmosphere in this place. We're saying, look over there at him or at her. They look a little bit different than you. So you should probably be really scared of them and fight with them and not ever think that you might be brothers and sisters, members of the same family. So get to thinking how you can scheme and make their life harder and fight. And while you do that and worry about conflict with each other, we'll gradually kill you. That seems like a really good plan and a good way to use the time here that you've incarnated in this alien place with a strange atmosphere. And the thing is that these incredible beings have the innate ability to transform this place into something incredibly beautiful that the hypnotists can't stop. If the beings wake up to who they actually are, then just with a thought, they could change everything. So as you can imagine, the highest priority of the hypnotists, and this is not to talk bad about regular hypnotists. This has nothing to do with that. I'm talking about the dark beings that control the atmosphere on this mythical planet and keep the thoughts in that atmosphere that occur to everybody who's born there, that they should be afraid and that they should be angry and that they should try to fight with each other. And the thing is that the beings that are born there have so much more power because of where they actually came from, then the people who are keeping this atmosphere one of fighting, that the whole priority of the masters of this place to keep it dark is to make sure that the people who came there to populate the planet never figure out who they actually are, which is real simple. But these beings have been hypnotized, and one of the things is that they think everything has to be really complicated, and answers are not found easily, and they can actually never find them. And they need bosses and committees and governments and dictators and things to, groups of scientists who are experts to tell them how to run their lives. So they're walking around like these little bent over, weak, fearful beings. And the top priority of the rulers is to make sure they never figure out that is not who they are. So we're not going to answer the question of what happens next, but in this particular episode, the rulers who want to keep the beings hypnotized make use of this very kind little old man who made some mistakes in his life and sold out to criminality and did all these horrible things, but he still knows how to read a teleprompter. And his job, even though he should be somewhere where he's taken care of and is safe, his job is to tell the beings who live on that planet, your fear is justified, and you should be very angry at anybody that is not following my orders, because he didn't say the Supreme Oz, but something like that. He represents the scientists and the experts that say what to do. And if you follow them, you might be able to live and have a long life of fear. But if you don't, you can't even describe how bad it's going to be. Not following the rulers. The main thing is to understand that anybody who doesn't follow them, you should be very angry and upset with them. And he said, as the great, didn't think of a name for him. It could be like the Great Oz. He's getting very impatient with the people who aren't following his orders. And there's about a quarter of the people in the land that he's talking to that somehow got off track and didn't follow his orders. And he doesn't say what he's going to do to them, but he implies that it's going to be something really unpleasant, and that he won't have to even do it to them necessarily if they change, or if the rest of the people that are obeying orders can make the people who don't obey the orders come around and see that the only way to live a good life is to do it through obedience to those who know better than you. So there's this really tense situation where about a quarter of the people in this mythical land are not yet following orders, and this kind old man who's been given the script to read to make sure everybody stays upset with each other and afraid is saying, this is probably your last chance, because I'm getting very impatient with you, and you should realize that what I tell you to do to yourself, you should immediately do, because I represent the scientists and the experts and the rightful rulers of this land, and they have only your best interest in mind and at heart. And all they've ever done is work day and night to serve you and to try to make your life better. So he says, I don't really understand why you're not all just jumping to obey me. And you have to do that. And in case you don't realize how gracious I am to give you this opportunity, I'll just make it so that you can remember, because we'll make a whole list of things that you can't do. And if you want a job, or if you want to work for certain companies, or if you want to work for I think they call it the government, or other really reliable, benevolent entities in your world, you have to have full obedience to everything I tell you to do to yourself, or let other people do to you. And so this is your last chance. And if you don't, I'll help you out of my compassion by punishing you more. And we're working on more punishments now. And the rulers who told the old man what to read said, good job, good job. And the man really has no idea what he just said. It's not his fault. he has to go back to bed and get some more medicine. And the rulers are talking and laughing with each other, says, we really got him this time. That was a great speech. Everybody's going to obey for sure right now. And if they don't, we know what to do with them. Because after all, we're the rulers. And we know that what the secrets are of running a ceremonial sacrifice of all life on the planet, which is what the top level of those rulers are doing. And the ones that that are helping them don't know that. They think it's only going to be get rid of a certain percentage of the life on the planet. But actually, in this sci-fi movie, in this mythical place, I know it's unbelievable, but their idea is to make this a spiritual sacrifice of all life on the planet and get their reward on the dimension above, so they won't need their bodies. And it's out in plain view, but almost none of the hypnotized people see it. And even the ones who think they're awake are saying, oh yeah, they just want to make it better for themselves and make less of us. They don't see that the rulers are destroying the entire life support system of this land, and they're obviously not planning to stay physically. But the question is, in the next episode, will they find out what's going on and make appropriate plans to change what's going to happen? Or will they stay hypnotized? And we'll have to wait till next time to find out, because this is just a really short, safe stream version of the real show, which is too offensive and unacceptable to really put on this platform. So the main thing that you can do about that is to protect other people from the full version of this show. There's a link below the video that you're watching, and it says where not to go so that you can avoid the really stressful and disturbing full version of the show. And you can share that with everybody that you know and have them share it in their network so that nobody will go there and you'll all be safe, which is the theme of the safe stream version. And you'll be able to warn each other and stay comfortably unconscious, which is the point of the whole story. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And I know it's an unbelievable thing that could never happen, but it's just fantasy anyway. And just something fun to look at in the safe stream version. So anyway, I really appreciate your being here for a couple minutes. And remember not to look at the real show, which is listed on lostartsradio.com and all the platforms that it's still on. I'm trying to get it kicked off, but this platform that you're watching right now is the only one that's been responsible and really censored it and re-educated the perpetrators of this show, primarily myself. So we're trying to do a good job with that and show that we're reformed. I hope you appreciate it. And have a good night. We'll see you next week.